Revolution is not for the saying. You're right here, and you're ready to fight!
So one of my first questions is for you, Adria. Throughout the season, Bix calls Cassian her husband. And I'm curious, like, did they actually get married, or is it more of a just like, this is my husband?
That's an interesting, very interesting question. One that I should know the answer to and want to have the answer for you. And I'll tell you why in the first, I think it's that episode 3, where she says it for the first time. And it's sort of in response of sort of what society puts onto that word husband and how seriously someone takes it if I go, oh, my boyfriend is coming home soon, rather than me saying my husband is coming home soon. And I think there's a depth to the word husband that happens to somebody else, and that's the reason she chooses that word in that moment. And unfortunately, it doesn't really work as much as she wishes it did. So I think it's a word used in defense of a moment.
I like that. And then a question for both of you. How soon did you learn what that final scene of the series was going to be?
Long ago. Yes.
So you've been keeping that secret since like season 1, or was it in the original pitch?
You knew since season 1?
No, end. No.
Oh.
End. Like before we started season 2. No?
Yeah, Tony let me know about that big monologue before I think I even read episode 1. Like, I knew nothing about episode 1, 2, and 3, but I knew that there was this sort of speech, and then I knew the last shot, which was
even
interesting.
though you said we shouldn't worry about spoilers.
Yeah, don't worry about spoilers at all.
Say it. No, but we are trying not to say it.
I know, it's so weird. I'm like, the last shot. You know?
It's such a beautiful moment. I feel like there was like some telegraphing of it, at least in my mind, with the Force healer and that whole moment when she takes Bix's hand. And I'm like, I want to hope that this is how it's going to end, because there's such hope and that kind of like the continuation of a story. It was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Tony let us know. It's so beautiful because Tony really believes that information is power, and so he sort of gives us all the information that we need even before we read a single line.
Yeah.
So when you do read the script, you're reading it with a little bit of context of sort of the trajectory of, and I think that's really thoughtful of him.
And also there is, if you imagine that how many ways, or how many different approaches the story could have, like to answer the question why Bix is not in Rogue One, and why we don't hear about Bix in Rogue One. But I love that he chose this path, I love that at the end what we are doing is telling a love story, because everyone focuses, when you talk about revolution, in loss, in pain, in anger, in injustice, and all of that is there. Yeah, all of that is there. But behind the revolution, there's love. There's the sense of family and belonging and fighting for the right reasons, and that reason can only be love. And I think it's a beautiful way to close this project, remind ourselves what it should be about,
And it adds so much context to his sacrifice in Rogue One too.
Come on, I mean, if you see Rogue One now, it's like, damn, the film is just like so much more robust, emotionally. It's like everything means so much more now. And you understand like what's said and what's not said, which is the beauty of Rogue One, because it's a very mysterious film. You don't know much about these characters. Well, now you know.
You do. And I think I'm willing to say that Bix and Cassian are now the best relationship to ever come out of Star Wars.
You're the best.
What? I mean, That's huge.
That's huge. And doesn't come from anyone like...
No, I know.
She's an expert.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And this was great. I will see you both in Japan in a few days.
I'll see you in Japan.